California. This is boxing. This is Top Rank, presented by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Mr. Bob Arum. This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds for the interim welterweight championship of the world. Our judges at ringside: Patricia Morse-Jarman, David Sullivan, and Fernando Villarreal. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. Ray Corona. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 146.5 pounds. Wearing camouflage trunks, his record, 25 victories, no defeats, 2 no contests. 19 of those victories coming by way of knockout. He is a top 10 contender by the WBO at 147 pounds, making his first attempt at a world title from Atlanta, Georgia, Brian the Assassin Norman Jr. Introducing out of the red corner, he weighed in at 146.4 pounds, wearing red trunks with gold trim. His record, perfect. 32 fights, 32 victories, 17 of those victories coming by way of knockout. He is the WBO #1 contender at 147 pounds. He is also making his first attempt at a world title, looking to become the second world champion in boxing history, born right here in San Diego, California, Giovani El Gallo de Oro Santillan.
Now that's a hometown edge.
Oh, yes, it is.
This is good right here. Look, belt line's all right still. Right here, nothing below those things. Want to touch gloves? Do it now. God bless.
What a reception for Giovani Santillan, who now at 32 years old and 32-0 gets the moment that he's been waiting for. Born and raised right here in San Diego. Dad was a bricklayer. Mom a receptionist at a dental clinic. His father took him to a local old school gritty San Diego gym when he was 8 years old. Went on to one of his long amateur runs, and then as a young pro was a sparring partner for a future Southern California world champion named Timothy Bradley. He got you ready for Pacquiao, Timmy?
Yes, he did. Yes, he was a phenomenal fighter back then, and he's a phenomenal fighter, even better fighter now. You know, he was more of a boxer off his back foot, really slick, very technical fighter off his back foot. But since his marriage with Robert Garcia, he's learned how to be a front foot fighter, coming forward, being aggressive, and landing his combinations.
Norman is a 6-year pro, turned pro at 17 years old. Dad was a pro fighter. Now he's 23. So a 9-year age gap. Let's get back to that conversation about Robert Garcia. This is their 7th fight together, Garcia and Santillan. And you got the sense in meeting with them yesterday that they're bubbling up with confidence in what they've been able to accomplish and grow into.
Oh, absolutely. After his last performance. Unbelievable performance where he stopped Rocha when he wasn't the favorite. Rocha was actually the favorite at the time. But he's coming in this fight full of confidence. He feels that he has more experience than Norman, which he does to a certain degree. Norman had an extensive amateur background. He comes from a fighting family. His father was a fighter.
Oh, good right uppercut on the inside from Norman, punching between punches there. This thing's getting rough right away, Timmy.
And it will get rough, because what's at stake, Tess? The world championship is at stake. Now it's the interim world championship, but here's the caveat right here. The fact that you have Bud Crawford going up to 54, he relinquished those belts. Guess what? You get moved up to the champion. The champion that wins tonight, or the fighter that wins tonight, gets bumped up to the full champion. So they're fighting like it tonight, Tess.
And the way the WBO puts that forth is, hey, until Bud Crawford's going to enter the ring on August 3rd up in LA against Majimov at 154, acknowledged as the welterweight champion.
Yes.
Then clearly he's never coming back to 47. I mean, there's even been talk of him fighting Canelo in an ultimate super fight. So the winner here is in just this elevated state, this prime position,
yes,
to inherit championship status and earn it here tonight.
Norman right now has a slight advantage in the hand speed department.
Stop. Take a step in. Nah.
He's using his movement to create some angles for himself. He landed a beautiful right hand, catching Santillan. And Santillan, you see what he wants to do. He wants to just get busy. He wants to close the gap. He wants to put it on the young man. Good body shot right there from Santillan.
Boy, did you hear that? To close out round number 1, as we're thrilled you're with us. Joe Tessitore and Tim Bradley ringside. This gets us started. We already got good action right away. And then we'll have Denise Baranchik against Emmanuel Navarrete, who never ceases to amaze. You start reflecting on the amateur fighters that Ukraine produced.
Unbelievable.
Over the course of a recent generation. To consider, and listen, we've always understood the relationship with Lomachenko and now the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Alexander Usyk. And then here tonight, their teammate from those 2020 games in London, the guy who won the Olympic silver medal, Denise Baranchik, could become a world champion as well. Look at the pressure being put by Santillan. Boy, it's a good scrap right now, isn't it?
It's going to be a dogfight tonight. The belt is on the line, Tess. This is what both fighters been waiting on their entire life. Santillan, he's an 11-year, going on a 12-year pro. 12 years it took for him to get to the championship, Tess.
Norman's been looking for that uppercut on the inside, that right uppercut. Two-punch combination. Closes the gap, splits the guard with the right hand. Does the Atlanta native.
What many people don't understand is that Norman, he doesn't mind facing southpaws. He's actually better at facing southpaws than the orthodox fighters. He's comfortable. He understands the angles coming from the southpaws. I've heard that he had some interesting sparring sessions with even Terrence Bud Crawford, the best fighter in the world. Look at the short shots on the inside by Norman. Yes, his back is against the rope, but he's just shorter and precise. He has the shorter arms in this fight, and he's able to land those nice, crisp shots on the inside right there. Nice little pull down from him as well. Just trying to keep Santillan off balance.
Can already see redness and bruising around that right eye of Santillan. Oh, look at that. Maybe even a cut developing there. There was a left hook moments ago. You can see the success that Norman is having in doing some damage.
Again, Norman getting that weak side, just taking advantage. Santillan wants to brawl. Norman is actually being technically sound right now. Gets the southpaw. Of course, you want that lead foot dominance test. You want to get that lead foot on the outside to land up that right hand.
Right uppercut again being fired off by Brian Norman.
And the uppercut's going to be there because Santillan leans forward, leans over that front knee. Nice pull down right there with the head again from Norman. Just being physically imposing on Santillan. See, all you need is a moment test. A moment test to just your opponent to be not ready, not set, or just knock him slightly off balance, and you'll have an opportunity to land on him.
You gotta stop at the bell. Work out of there, guys. Come on. Pull your arms up.
End of 2. Good second round for Brian Norman Jr. Look at this scene here at Pechanga Arena, the old San Diego Sports Arena for Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. Joe Tessitore and Tim Bradley with you ringside as we are underway in a very action-packed co-feature between Brian Norman, the 23-year-old from Atlanta, he's 25-0, and the local favorite, Giovani Santillan, the 32-year-old, who's 32-0, fighting for a vacant welterweight interim belt. That leads up to what will be our World Championship main event. And there he is, the thrilling Emmanuel Navarrete. You see how relaxed he is, taped up 38-1-1 with 31 knockouts. And tonight he moves up to 135 pounds to pursue his 4th Division World Championship. Tim, he is all offense, all gas, no brakes, and surprises us time and again.
One of my favorite fighters. One of my top 5 favorite fighters today. He's all about that action, Tess, and he never disappoints. Every time he fights, he always looks for the knockout.
Now tonight the challenge is Denise Baranchek, who's the former silver medalist, the undefeated Ukrainian, who's 36-0. And oh, what a day it could be in Ukrainian sports history. As you know, the big headline by now, there he is, Baranchek. His dear friend, his former Olympic teammate, Alexander Usyk, won the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world earlier today in Saudi Arabia in upsetting Tyson Fury. We will have all the recap and analysis of that heavyweight championship later tonight on the State of Boxing, but settle in for a very good night of fights from here in San Diego. Let's check in with Bernardo Osuna.
I spoke with Al Gammons about the cut over the right eyelid of Santillan. He said that was fine, under control. Now he's got a cut over the left eyelid as well. And in terms of Robert Garcia, he wanted Santillan to throw lighter punches, but more frequently, and start digging to the body.
So a lot of damage done early by Brian Norman to the eyes of Santillan.
Come on, work, pull your
It's
arms
the
out. Let's go,
angles.
work.
He said lateral traps. So with lateral traps, when you move in position, your opponent has to adjust to the new position you went to. And while they're adjusting, guess what? You catch him off guard. That's what Norman is using. Right now, he's taking the beating right now against the ropes, but good body.
Good right hand comes in from Santillan. And listen to this reaction from the locals. Born and raised right here in San Diego. And a huge moment for each man to get this opportunity. We come to the end of round number 3. If you've been watching on ESPN News, come on over to ESPN or continue watching on the app. End of 3 of an early thriller here from San Diego. Don't go anywhere. Championship night of action ahead. Good look at that left eyelid of Giovani Santillan. That is a gash that he's dealing with. That's a bad cut.
If it deepens anymore, there's a possibility the fight can get stuck. It's right underneath the eyelid, a bad place where you want to see a cut.
Well, Brian Norman knows about dealing with cuts. His last fight back on March 2nd, that was a 3rd round no contest. He actually suffered an opening round knockdown. He was cut over his right eye. His opponent, Figueroa Bochica, was cut over his left eye. Fight would not continue. Ringside physician called an end to that. When is a no contest, as it was in the 3rd round.
But Santillan, he came out a little bit too fast. He didn't take his time, and he didn't place his jab. He just rushed in there. And Norman got off to a quick start and was able to cut him in 2 places.
Bernardo just checked in with Al Gammons, the cut man of Santillan, and he did say, listen, the left eye's worse, but he feels like he will have it under control. Now trying to work on the inside, trying to create just a little bit of space for punches to come in against Norman. Right uppercut underneath. Norman's gone to that a few times early on here, Timmy.
See, Santillan's trying to overpower him right now. He's not using his brain. He's trying to overpower Norman. Norman's too quick, too smart. He's eluding a lot of that offense. Yes, some things are getting in. There are. Definitely getting in. Like that shot right there. Short shot on the inside right there from Santillan. But, see, that's the problem with Norman. He'll do well, and then, I don't know, he's like has a mental lapse. I don't know what it is, but he'll be starting off the fight very well, but towards the middle, he just has these mental lapses, and he doesn't perform as well he was doing early on, Tess.
A couple body shots came in from Santillan, but Norman's also having short connects on the inside.
He is. He's having some success as well, but the
Trying
thing
to take
is,
the angle, use the right hand.
keep the fight in the center of the ring, Tess. Keep your back off the ropes. Extremely important.
Come on, work, gentlemen. Push him up. Stop. Don't use the shoulder, but not the shoulder.
Again, we will have full analysis and coverage of Alexander Usyk's win against Tyson Fury to become the undisputed heavyweight champion on the State of Boxing on the ESPN app at the conclusion of our world title fight tonight. Good start here in our co-feature. 3-punch combination from Santillan. Norman comes back with a body shot. Excellent pace early on here. Another right hand to the body and a straight left from Santillan.
Tess, you remember when we looked at each other in the fighter meeting yesterday, and I told you, I said this is going to be an exciting fight tonight. I told you.
Yep, and it is delivering early on. Did you hear that? Good crack.
They're really showing me something tonight. He's not playing along with the script.
Mark Kriegel, you mentioned that fight by Santillan against Rocha. That was a solid upset win by Santillan. It was back in October here in Southern California. He came out pressing in the aggressor. He scored 3 knockdowns. And a 6-round knockout there and earning the #1 ranking in the WBO at 147 pounds. Of course, a weight class, welterweight, that was conquered by Bud Crawford when he became the undisputed champion and annihilating Errol Spence. But Bud's moving up to 154. So now a golden opportunity here with this interim belt between Norman and Santillan.
Watch your shoulder, man.
Again,
Stop.
Norman being very creative off his back foot, moving left, moving right, throwing that right hand right down the middle. That's the punch you want to look for. There it is, getting off on the angle right there, getting his head outside and moving while shooting the right hand.
Stop. No talking.
His positioning test has been way better. Much better than Santillan. Santillan is just strictly coming forward. That's all he's doing, just coming forward. Not doing anything creative. Whoa, that's a beautiful shot.
That straight left hand, that power backhand from the southpaw can do something, though.
Santillan finally finding the script. The script is that Norman, he doesn't move his head after he punches.
There it is again.
On the line.
You can see him shaking his head as he acknowledges that Santillan got him with that straight left.
Stop. Take a step back, both of you.
So just watch Norman's head when he shoots a shot. His head doesn't move. He keeps it right there, right on the pedestal. Again, head right back to the center slot.
Come on, work out.
So if I'm Santillan, I'm in this corner, I'm saying, hey, brace yourself, avoid the shot, but then come right back down the middle, straight down the middle. His head's going to be right there with straight punches. Ref stepping in, warning him right there for holding.
Ray Corona, veteran referee, warning him for holding. Also warns him for posting, of keeping that lead hand out there. It's a short left hook as there was a little bit of separation. Santillan trying to close the gap. Norman trying to time him with an uppercut. 3-punch combination for Santillan. Anytime, Timmy, he puts forth any offense, you hear the reaction from this hometown crowd here.
You do hear the reaction, but you know, the judges can be influenced by that, but if they top judges.
It's a good job by Norman fighting out of that corner.
Yes.
Short right hand on the inside, and they traded. Boy, it's a fun fight to get your night started before we have our world title fight. We're listening into the corner of Brian Norman Jr. and Brian Norman Sr. Feels like they are very much in control. This matchup of 2 unbeaten. As he said, hey, Santillan's tiring. He's tiring, son.
Come on, work, gentlemen, work. Let go. If I see him on the other side, you got him hooked up. Stop. Take a step back.
Left hand again from Santillan.
Straight down the pipe. He won't be able to miss with that. He just got to keep throwing it. And he has to throw it from the right range, Tess. He get too close, he's not going to be able to land it. He has to throw it from mid-range, but from the right range. And at the right time.
Look at this action against the ropes.
Oh, this is great work off the ropes, Tess. Just great work
Pull your arm up.
by Norman. Once again, being physical. Those physical controls is throwing Santillan off balance momentarily, and he's just taking advantage with straight shots right down the middle. Right hands, short little uppercuts on the inside. Good body shot right there from Santillan.
Come on, work out of there.
See Santillan getting that left forearm involved right across the neck of Norman, just trying to create some space. Comes up out of that awkward position with the left hand. Speaking of guys who can do things from awkward positions, there is Emmanuel Navarrete, the 3-division world champion. The guy who throws 16.5 combination punches per round. That is top 3 in all of boxing at the elite level. He's pure offense. He's tons of fun. And tonight, he's pursuing his 4th division world championship up against Denis Baranchek, the undefeated Ukrainian. That is coming up in moments in our world championship main event.
Let's go, work. Stop. Take a step back.
Nice jab.
Just Tess, think about this. The last 2 rounds, Norman has had his back up against those ropes. He needs to keep the fight in the center of the ring. He has to. The judges can't see him working out.
Good uppercut on the inside.
It's good work.
This is a back and forth round. Santillan had some momentum, and now Norman sways back here in the final minute. Look at them go. Santillan sweeping to the belt line with body shots. Now comes up top. We're in round 6, and there's almost a sense of fighting with desperation and urgency already.
Battle of attrition. That's what's going to take in this fight.
You gotta stop with the bell. Let go of him. Let go. Pull your arm out, Santillan. Let go. Stop, stop.
Joe, Tim, and Bernardo ringside. Mark Kriegel scoring the fight as we enter round number 7. 2 undefeated welterweights fighting for an interim belt. There are the punches in the last round. That was great action. 21 landed for Norman, 19 for Santillan. Brian Norman Sr., the trainer of his son, camo pants, telling his son just before this round that Santillan has no legs, has no movement. Make this easier on yourself.
You're seeing a lot of frame work, forearm frames. That's a forearm frame right there, just trying to frame the shot. A lot of good inside controls right there. That's exactly what Norman is doing right now, just controlling. Not much going on.
Bernardo, what's going on in his corner?
His father, Brian Norman Sr., is very happy with his work. He says, look, as long as he keeps moving to his left, Santillan has no feet to catch him. And he's in his face and doing great inside work, and he's landing the cleaner punches. I'm really happy with what he's doing.
Of course, moving to his left keeps him away from that power punch against the southpaw.
Good short shots in the inside for Norman again. You see Santillan's feet all over the place. Balance all over the place. Norman right now seems under control, but again, he's back on the ropes. That's been his issue for the last 3 rounds, being on those ropes.
There's a right hand that came right in against the left eye of Norman. Santillan scores there.
What Norman don't realize is Santillan can keep this pace all night long. Big cut right there on that left eye.
Look at the blood coming down from that left eye of Brian Norman.
I want.
Pull your arm out. Pull your arm out. Let go of him. Let go of him. Stop.
Chants of Gio.
Work, work.
As the locals try to rally support. The San Diego fighter is trying to win himself a belt tonight. Norman looking for some separation. He did a really nice job with that cut around the left eye of Santillan.
Yes, they have.
Cornerman told Bernardo, I think I've got it under control. It's not a good looking cut, but I think I've got it under control in the ass.
It's the physicality of Norman that is getting the better of Santillan right now. Just better technique, shorter, quicker to the trigger, or quicker to the target, I should say, from Norman.
Start of round number 8. Such a big moment for Santillan and Norman. 2 undefeateds meeting up here in San Diego, Santillan's hometown. Bud Crawford, of course, undisputed champion at 147 pounds, moving up to 154. An opportunity now to claim an interim welterweight title for these men. Round number 8. To this point, Brian Norman, a 102 to 92 connect advantage. 3-punch combination from Santillan.
Anytime Norman gets inconsistent, here comes Santillan.
Come on, pull your arm up. Come on, let go of him.
Coming up next is going to be the WBO Lightweight World Championship, and it should be a great one at 135 pounds. That is the scene right now in the locker room of Denise Baranchek, the former silver medalist, the 36-year-old undefeated Ukrainian, who earlier today sat back and watched his countryman, his former teammate, his very dear friend, Alexander Usyk, defeat Tyson Fury to become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And now Baranchek has a chance to upset Emmanuel Navarrete, who's a 3-division world champion, and claim a belt himself. Final preparations being made. You see them taping it up. Commission will sign off on those gloves, and then it's Baranchek and Navarrete. Should be tons of offense in that main event for a world championship.
Ooh, nice uppercuts right there from Santillan off the back foot.
Dipping to the left, coming with that left uppercut. Now a short right hook from the southpaw. Straight right hand from Norman. That cut that you see around the left eye of Brian Norman, you got to look at it there for a moment. Referee Ray Corona confirmed that that was from a clash of heads. And Stitch Duran told Bernardo Osuna that he has it under control. And now Brian Norman, as he buckles the legs of Santillan. A minute to work here in round number 8 as Santillan had a little buckle after that shot.
Straight right hand, right on the chin, Tess. He didn't load up with it. Santillan never saw it coming.
And Norman get after him here, put him in more trouble in this final minute of round 8. Look for the uppercut, came back with a left hook.
He hurt, Tess. He hurt.
Santillan in trouble here against the ropes. Trying to tie up, and he does. Half a minute to get out. An uppercut, a right uppercut, and then Norman falls in. Another uppercut. Santillan tries to trade back. Fire with fire here. Powerful left hand. Santillan stands up to it. Big right uppercut. Oh, it's a big round for Brian Norman.
Stop at the bell.
There are many ways to dress.
There is an absolute flood of blood coming from the nose of Santillan. I mean, it's streaming down his chest as he comes out here for round number 9. He took big punishment as we look back.
He gonna stop him. That's a broken nose. It's a broken nose.
Look at this mess of a face from Santillan. He's like a paint store right now. I mean, it's coming from the eye. It's absolutely raining down from the nose. It's a right hand and then an uppercut late, and the uppercut caused massive damage. Look at the left shoulder of Norman just from being on the inside against Santillan.
Get off his head.
I mean, that is undoubtedly, listen, we don't want to play doctor, but we've been through thousands of ringside observations. If that's not a broken nose, I don't know what is.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, and Santillan's willing to trade with him. With slick, blood-soaked gloves. Look at the shine on him as the entire front of him is just covered in blood.
You know when this happens, Tess? This happens, this type of performance happens when you have a lot of people doubting you, when a lot of people talking about you. Norman is here and he's showing out tonight. He might stop Santillan in the next. He got 3 rounds to stop him. He might just do that, Tess. He's hitting them with kill shots at will, like that.
Big right hand from Norman. Bernardo, what are you hearing?
I'm hearing from Robert Garcia that he wants Santillan to try to survive this round and then go after him over the last 3 rounds. But this one is about recovering.
Oh, my goodness. The physical controls on the inside. Look at the physical controls. Laying his hands on him. Disrupting his timing, disrupting his rhythm. Just putting his hands on him to line him up for shots. Oh, my goodness.
2-punch combination. And that sent him back. I mean, there is blood splatter everywhere. Look at the logo. Look at that top-ranked speckled logo.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Stop. Stop.
That uppercut at the end of the 8th round just pierced the dam, and the flood of blood has been non-stop.
Santillan, vision
Come on, work, guys.
could be blurred. All that blood in his eyes, Tess.
No.
Well, how about the blood cutting down into his lungs and how much he's losing? And the pain alone of taking that shot and receiving that damage.
Guard right here to be able to open that up. And you see how he brought him into that shot. Those are the physical controls that I'm talking about on the inside. That's high-level boxing right there from Norman.
Round 10. Mark Kriegel, how do you have it?
There you go. Listen, he's pulled away Brian Norman. He told us this fight's going to change my life, and that's sure how it looks. I will say this is also a big night for Santillan being at home, but he's thrown everything hard. He hasn't varied his tempo and his rhythm.
Come on, work, guys.
A 145 to 110 connect advantage for Brian Norman. He has landed 135 power punches, including 24 of 60 in the 8th round when he had him hurt. Bernardo.
This is exactly where Robert Garcia does not want Santillan. He wants him to push Norman to the ropes because this is what happens in the center of the ring.
No. Stop. Step back.
This next level stuff from Norman. Next level stuff from Norman right here.
Trying to stay undefeated.
Santillan.
Oh my! I mean, how big was that shot? Another uppercut. Bloodied, battered, beaten, and yet he gets up like a warrior.
Walk back to me. You want to continue? Hands up. Let me see your hands. All right. One more time, Bo. You're taking a lot. Let's go.
Brian Norman trying to win himself a belt. The young man from Atlanta.